Peter, thank you for speaking to talkSPORT.
Thank you, mate.
Can you just explain what you've been up to this afternoon in a cold, wet, drizzly Hertfordshire golf course?
Well, I've been out there for 2 hours trying to get a hole in one with Matt Wallace, Ross Fisher, professional golfers, me, Tony Bellew and Paddy Power. Obviously, I was hopeless. At times, I got it on the green a couple of times, but I was nowhere near the flag. But the boys were just peppering it, absolutely peppering it, but didn't manage to get it, unfortunately.
Have you ever hit a hole in one before?
No.
Do you think you ever will?
I genuinely don't think I ever will, no.
I've got to start this interview off with a really hard-hitting question. You might struggle with this. Did you know that you've been ranked as number one as the sexiest Premier League pundit?
Taking the piss.
You're number one out of 10. Glenn Hoddle came 8th. You're top of the list.
Wow, who's voting for that?
It's just the internet, man.
Wow.
What's your general
I
thoughts
will
of
take.
that?
I will take that.
Yeah?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Put it on the gravestone.
I'll be telling a lot of people about that.
Ali McCoist came 2nd.
Yeah.
What message have you got for Mr. McCoist?
Yeah, he's an attractive man. He's just not attractive enough.
Not as attractive as you.
Yeah.
We want to kick off with Liverpool, mate. This season, it's been unbelievable. Do you really think, I know we're in December right now, do you really think come May they're going to have their hands on the title?
Well, it's just everything's gone to plan so far, and you've got to say I feel like he's improved the players that were there. It feels like there's a bounce to them, and of course, I think they've got to be favourites now.
Mo Salah as well. The biggest talked about thing at the moment is his contract. If you were in the Liverpool hierarchy, would you be giving him anything that he wanted to keep him at the football club? I know he's 32, 33, but still, he's in the form of his life at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been probably the best player in the Premier League for a number of years now. You're not going to be able to replace his goals without spending, hundreds of millions. And I think, you've got to probably give him what he wants. And I think, if it's 2-3 years, I don't see any sign of him slowing down. And I think he's going to guarantee 20 to 30 goals a season in those 3 years.
If come the summer they let go of Salah, they let go of Trent, they let go of Van Dijk, figureheads of the football club, could you see your former team go on a bit of a decline, like a Manchester United, like they did in, say, the early 2000s, because they didn't win a title for like 30 years?
What I would say is, I've worked with the people in charge at Liverpool, and they're shrewd. They know what they're doing. I trust them as people, and I would say that, if whatever they do is going to be do for the good of the club. I do think it's going to be so difficult losing 3 players of that calibre. And you would suggest that there would be a decline because they are 3 of the key players.
Jorginho said on a podcast this week, I think it was Rio Ferdinand's, that Bukayo Saka could win a Ballon d'Or. Where does he need to improve in his game to try and win a Ballon d'Or? Because, of course, he's going to be coming up against the likes of Vinicius Jr. Rodri's out for the season, so he's not going to get it next season. But do you actually see Bukayo Saka being a Ballon d'Or winner at some point? I
think he's good enough, yeah. I think, obviously, with Messi and Ronaldo not being around anymore, it kind of opens it up. And I think there's a gap there now. And I definitely think he's got the ability to do it. But, Arsenal have to be winning Premier Leagues and they have to win in the Champions League in and around the final at least, I think, to win the Ballon d'Or. And it's nothing to do with Saka, is it? It's about the team performance, I think, and it would then lead to Ballon d'Or, yeah.
Well, if it's team performance and whatnot, and say Salah does go, if Bukayo Saka went to Liverpool, could he win a Ballon d'Or then, do you reckon?
Oh, my God.
That's big, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know where you've got that one from, but listen, I would love to see...
Right winger, replacement.
I would love to see it happen, I really would, but I think Arsenal fans have something else to say about that.
Do you think Saka could win a Ballon d'Or before Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham?
Well, yeah, I think he has the potential to do it. I absolutely love watching him play. I think Odegaard coming back has definitely given him another gear because I think their link-up play is so good together. Yeah, I'm sure there's people talking about it, but I think he has to be you have to be winning trophies if you're getting talks about like that.
Quick one on Spurs. For what you're saying, real lack of consistency. You're beating Manchester City, then you're drawing to Fulham, you're losing to Ipswich. Is it a case of injuries with Spurs, or would you just be frustrated with what you're seeing on the pitch because it's always one way or the other?
I'll be honest with you. Every time I love watching them play. It's always exciting. There's always goals. But yeah, it's frustrating because you can perform like you did against Manchester City, and that's I understand where the manager's come from. He's a bit like you can't always compare to one performance, but yeah, I think they've just got to sustain their form, and they can't seem to do that. I don't know.
At the time of this recording, Julian Lopetegui's future is in doubt at West Ham. It's not looking likely he's going to keep his job. Who would you bring in to steady the ship? We're in December. Do you go for a third time under David Moyes and try and steady the ship that way?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I think they've gone for something new, and I think it's plain to see it hasn't been working. Players don't seem to be playing for him. They spent a lot of money as well. It's quite a big investment, and there's not been a return. Who they go for, I'm not sure. I think West Ham have moved on since David Moyes. I think he's done a fantastic job, but I think they're kind of past that. They're looking in a new direction, and hopefully that direction's staying up for them.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.